Hey guys, it's Lissa. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you can subscribe. I do put out really cool videos, but if you're old here, hi, welcome back. Obviously, we're going to talk about soulmates and twin flames and what you're actually looking for based on your date of birth. Okay. Before we go into this, I am going to have timestamps below so you can go straight to your sign or the sign of your rising or your moon or the day of birth if you don't know those, and you can click at your leisure. But I do want to discuss what the difference between a twin flame and a soulmate is. So a soulmate is somebody that basically completes you. They connect to you. I kind of view it in the same way of like you have a body and you have a soul, and when your soul comes into your body, it like just connects. It just likes you. And even though the soul might be all light and your body is dark matter, like it connects and it's happy together. And so when you are with your soulmate, you're with somebody who connects to you and makes you happy, and they like you for who you are, you like them for who they are. They don't have a lot of your shadow side. They might have a lot of your good side, and they help you put your best foot forward, you put your best foot forward. They just connect you in that way where everything's very easy. Okay, soulmate, think easy, like Netflix and chill immediately, instantly. And maybe even with a soulmate, there might not have been an initial like, holy, what's going on here? But it can either be developed over time, or, I mean, you might have experienced it right away, but it might have been more of a like, this is just really nice. I don't know. I've never had this nice thing before. Okay. This idea of your soul like connecting to this light, this sun energy is much more new. It's purity. It's pure. And even if I had met him in another life, it seemed like a very new relationship. And now we're going to get into twin flames, and twin flames are similar, but very different. It's more like this Mars energy, which is this crazy, like, passion. Twin flames are the idea that you were cut from the same cloth. That means that they are your complete, almost opposite person. They are what you're not. They naturally live their life collecting things that are the opposite of you in what you collect. So like if someone collects money, their twin flame would be somebody who seems to get rid of money like pretty easily, right? If somebody is naturally good with people, their twin flame might be someone who's really bad with people. So in this case, it seems like, oh yes, you really complete the other person, and you do. Like when you get together with your twin flame, all of a sudden you're like a well-rounded one person. That's a twin flame scenario, and it comes to you like you're like, I feel like I've known you lifetimes. It's like I can't like stop. Like I've had dreams about you my whole life. But the thing with your soulmate, and what makes it, in my opinion, which is not very humble, as people will tell you, my non-humble opinion, a soulmate allows you to be your own person. It allows you to, be better in those areas that you're not. But when you get together with your twin flame, they're going to be better at it, so you don't have to be better at it. So I believe a soulmate is going to give you the whole thing. Like you're going to become your whole package. Like make you just the best version of yourself so that you don't need your twin flame anymore. But if you are with your twin flame, together you'll make a good one person to become one. You're getting back with your human, I guess. Whenever anybody comes to me with a twin flame situation, it always seems very toxic. And most of the time it seems more toxic for the woman. But I also do see that we're looking for a twin flame. No matter what, we want it. So I understand that. Like, what if there's something in there that I haven't gotten yet? What if I'm missing something? Because you do feel like a piece of yourself is missing. I do realize that everyone that I dated or wanted to date before I met my soulmate was a lot like my twin flame. And I realized that as soon as I met my twin flame. Like I was very actively looking for my twin flame. Okay. And I do see that like it's a common thing in people to want to find that twin flame because you feel incomplete. A lot of times with twin flames too, you can actually be non-attracted to them instantly. Like you can hate them. I will tell you that one thing that I found with my twin flame was that I could connect to him like this. Like And during that moment of my understanding of my own twin flame, I did really find myself in that. Like, just by visualizing what it would be like to be with a twin flame, I found like myself as this, as my own goddess, I guess you could say. Like, just, I have these qualities too. I never realized I had these qualities. But looking at them, I was like, oh, I can awaken these. Like, whatever was left over, whatever I had not explored yet, I looked at him and was like, those are mine now. And I didn't need him to give them to me. I could be all these things my twin flame is, and I don't have to have him to have them. Then I was just like, well, it's weird because now I feel like I am my own person. I'm so free to do whatever I want. Freedom felt to me like a better connection and not so toxic as like joining forces with another person. The only person that you can really kind of connect to as one is your twin flame. But the problem is with that is that you lose your ability to be one. And it's just the truth of relationships. So, that being said, let's get into all of the signs. We're going to go Aries through Pisces, and I will discuss everything that you need to know. Make sure you look for your sun, your moon, and your rising if you know it. If not, just your birthday will tell you the most pertinent information. Hi, so this is for you if you are an Aries or if you were born between the dates of March 21st to April 19th. Now, you could be on the cusp of a couple things. If you know your exact birth time, you can go look that up to find out if you really are an Aries. Also, if you have your rising or your moon in Aries, I will be discussing that. But we're going to talk about your twin flame first. So, Aries people are naturally drawn to the romantic type. You've probably had dreams your whole life about meeting somebody who wanted to be in a relationship, who wanted to connect to you in a way that when you met this person, you were just drawn to them implicitly. Like, they were beautiful to you, beautiful, handsome, attractive, and their qualities were so seductive, but at the same time, they also came after you. And that's a very interesting quality because to be seductive, you're kind of drawing people to you. You're drawing people in with mystery and intrigue, but they to want to come after you, pursue you, that would be that they were coming towards you. Like, they focused in on you. So everyone wanted them, say, but they wanted you. So you kind of got, the princess or the prince of the kingdom wherever you were, and you were looking for that. It also means that when you're looking for your twin flame, because you're just naturally going to have this in your brain that you need this, they would have to be special. Like, this person needs to be a very special person. You never really felt like you were going to connect to somebody who was a loser, a diamond in the rough, somebody that people didn't like. This can also mean that if somebody that loved you, say, was unattractive at one point, like maybe you were in high school and you were like someone who was fatter, less attractive, the ugly duckling, whatever, was in love with you, you might friend zone them. And then if they got more attractive, you would all of a sudden be like into it. Why? Because you need them to be attractive. Like, that's just part of your twin flame need. Now, if we're looking into what is actually your soulmate, what's going to make you come alive, you're going to get someone who is balanced already. Somebody who is not high on the emotional upswings, okay? Like going up and down. And see, when your twin flame is in the mix with this, you're probably going to end up with somebody who is emotionally unstable for the fact that they are both a pursuer and the pursued. You want somebody who's doing both, because if you have this Aries quality in your chart, you're not pursuing or pursued. That's a part of you that is not realistic. You don't ever, what's it called? Like, you're not making that part happy. You're not nurturing that part of you. You're nurturing the part of you, that does what you want and that focuses in on your needs and ramming things head first, but you're not actually focusing on relationships, the beauty and the love of all of that stuff. So you're like thinking that you need somebody who's just this perfect specimen that does not necessarily exist. And so once you get this person who is attractive to all, but yet somehow only attracted to you, you're going to get somebody who is unstable emotionally. And your twin flame is most likely unstable emotionally. And you're going to be picking up the slack of their instability. Now, when you go for your soulmate, it may not be somebody who is both pursued and pursuing you. It could be somebody who is just very passive, like takes in a lot of people's attention, is very seductive and mysterious, yet because they are like that, they are very calm, collected, and temperate. Just, they understand how they have their one foot on the land and their one foot in the water, and they're okay. They don't need help in this emotional area. So you're no longer focused in on them. You're focused in on how to pursue them and how to gain their attention and how to make them happy, which then opens you up to so much more. Now, if your rising sign is an Aries, this would mean that you're actually looking for a Libra type, and this would show you more of your sexual connection to them. You are definitely, this is on a physical basis, okay? So you might not be an Aries in your sun sign, which would mean that this wouldn't be like a whole thing going on. It would be like I'm physically connected to this person. I want to have sex with this person. They are sexually seductive. They are sexually penetrative, whatever it is. I want that, okay? And what you would want to change that to more of a soulmate would, what are you? What is your sexual type? How are you attracting people to you? How are you, who are you attracted to? And how do you know about your own ability to love? Like Venus is on your opposite side here. So you are like, Venus is the physical embodiment of love. It's love making. And I would focus in on your ability to make love, like understanding your partner, how to make them come alive, right? Okay, so if it's your moon sign, this is emotions. So as I said, this is very emotionally unstable, but like your twin flame would be emotionally unstable. So if it's your moon, it's definitely emotionally unstable. Like you can't figure it out, but your moon is just like, I want emotionally repressed, emotionally unstable people. Like I can't handle myself. Like that's all I want. What you're really looking for and what you should tell yourself to attach yourself to is somebody who is on your level emotionally. And that will kind of make you feel like, okay, I can tame my own emotions. This person can tame their own emotions, and you get through it like that. So that is Aries. Thank you so much. And I will talk to you later. Bye. Okay, hi. So this is for you Tauruses, okay? So if you are a Taurus or your rising or your moon is in Taurus, this is for you. This also means that if you don't know what your sign is, it would be if your birthday was between April 20th and May 20th, around those, maybe cusp 21st, 19th of those 2 months. So April 20th, May 20th. Did I say that? Okay. So basically, your twin flame. This is what you're dreaming about. This is the kind of person that you feel like makes you come alive, that you've been waiting your whole life for, right? And what you're looking for is magic. You're also looking for something that does not exist, okay? It does not exist. It's a unicorn. It is somebody who can get you from point A to point Z and 0 seconds. So you might be attracted to money, honey. Somebody who is very, very wealthy, because that wealth is going to make you higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. And you don't have to do anything. You might also be attracted to somebody who is just, a plastic surgeon, or really, I think it just comes down to money here, because what is the currency in this day and age is somebody who can just give you what you need to make yourself better. So if you wanted to be more beautiful, you could be more beautiful because he gave you money for better boobs or like nose job, whatever. So you're looking for that person who basically takes you from your rags to riches story, your pauper to your prince. Like this is the big loophole. You're chasing down the loophole. You believe it in your heart that you could get this. Okay. So that's your twin flame. And you probably will go through a lot of random rich guys or women or people with that sort of, maybe even maybe they don't have money, but they have just tons of connections. You might go through a lot of those to find this empowerment. And then when you really meet the one, they frustrate you the most because maybe it's like even harder for you to get their money from them. Like they make you jump through hoops and stuff to be with them. So it gets pretty toxic in this situation where the ones who are just sort of emulating your twin flame are a lot more giving of their money up front, giving of their connections, etc. So when you want to get into your soulmate is going to be somebody who is void of things. They don't like all of those things. They might actually deal with somebody else's money, somebody else's connections. They might be like somebody who's a, tax accountant or an assistant or somebody like that, like very, what's the word? Understanding of the trials and tribulations of another person when it comes to having so much success. They can have success on their own. I'm not saying that your soulmate is someone who doesn't have success, but they definitely allow you to have success. They are like, well, I know a lot about money. I know a lot about business. I help in this situation. I think you could do it yourself. I think you could make your own money. I think you could do your own thing. You could utilize your own life to transform yourself. And so in this case, this person's very transformative to you. They allow you to transform, and probably because they're constantly transforming themselves and constantly transforming other people. You can think of the sign Scorpio because it is the opposite here. So in this way, they allow you to complete yourself as opposed to giving you something so you don't have to work hard for it anymore. You don't have to take the easy way out that ends up being more toxic to you. Now, if your rising sign is in here, this would be on a physical level. So if your rising sign is Taurus, you have Scorpio on your descendant, which is sort of like this physical connection. It's the 7th house ruled by Venus, which is your sexual love. It's your love making. So you would be very sexually attracted to somebody who can't really give you good sex. And I say this because when you think about something that's very magical, what this Taurus is looking for, like money is not going to equate to great sex. Now, your soulmate is going to give you good sex. Your soulmate would probably be somebody who would want to dominate you and just make you feel like this is like exciting, like we are going at it, like they want to dominate me, I want to dominate them, and we're like having a really good, it's just fun. But when you're with somebody physically like that, it's probably going to be somebody who just wants you to dominate them, who wants you to take charge because they give you everything you can to live, and so you have to take advantage of them in a strange way. Like you can't just get a physical connection from them. And so if you do have this Taurus ascendant, you actually might feel like you don't even like sex that much. But it's not necessarily true. If you met your physical soulmate, they'd be somebody who would just be giving you orgasms like all the time, because that would feel like that's what they want to do for you and make you come alive in that sense. If this is your moon, you have a Taurus moon, you're going to be drawn to somebody who is emotionally non-existent, who doesn't have emotions, who's just highly logical and connects to you on a brainwave thing so that you don't feel like you have to stabilize your emotions, stabilizes anybody else's emotions. But what you don't realize in the Taurus moon is that you are a moon alchemist. You can stabilize anybody's emotions just by being near them because your moon is exalted. So you would want to be, your soulmate, your emotional soulmate would be somebody who you could almost clear out emotionally, who you could save emotionally. And I think it's important because it doesn't matter if this person, like if you have your moon in Taurus, there's probably a bunch of other stuff going on, obviously, to see your soulmate in your twin flame. So you have to pay attention to what those are. But I don't think that this means that you're supposed to be finding someone you have to save in every direction. You're not looking for that. The Taurus moon is just specifically about being able to hear the deepest, darkest, baddest emotions. Having that emotional power to do that, having the strength of your emotions, and not needing to be with somebody who's just like Spock, because it's not rewarding for you. It's not your life goal. But you might find yourself just kind of attracted to this Spock-like character and be like, so what deep and dark happened in your life? And if it's your twin flame, you may never get to that point of understanding them. So anyway, this is Taurus. Thank you guys. I will talk to you later. Bye. Hi guys, this is Gemini, or if your birthday falls between about May 21st and June 20th, around that area if you're cusping and you don't know. This is also for Gemini ascendants or Gemini risings and Gemini moons, and we'll get to that at the end of the full explanation. So if you are a Gemini, your twin flame is crazy. Now your twin flame is chaotic, like complete chaos and destruction of your entire life. You've probably had dreams of this throughout your lifetime, of someone coming into your life and just bulldozing it, changing everything up, taking you on a wild ride and adventure that you never knew you were capable of, and ultimately killing you in the end of it, because that's what would happen. Just you be like, just take my life, man. This is what I need. This is what I want. And you've probably gone through multiple lives like this. And so you're just looking for that person to come into your life and just take you down to Chinatown. Probably not Chinatown, but you know, just destroy you in every which way. You take your life and just be like, oh nope, your life is mine now, and now it's gone. And then you would feel like you could build up. There's a very apocalyptic understanding of the Gemini twin flame. But your soulmate is somebody who doesn't just take you to this destructive, chaotic place, but they actually just help you take your own risks. The person who sort of takes you by your hand and you're like, I want to show you the world, but it's your choice to come with me. And when you choose to come with me, I'm going to let you make some choices too. I'm not just going to pull you in for my adventure. I'm going to allow myself to be on this adventure with you and to follow your lead sometimes. And I think the Gemini doesn't understand inside how much they are a leader in their own right, and how much they don't need someone to destroy everything that they've already created, because the Gemini has created so much. And they just need somebody who is willing to help them take the risks. And that's just somebody who makes the Gemini come alive. And so if you have your rising in Gemini, this would be on a very physical level, like sexually, because of your seventh house being ruled by Venus, and Venus is like love making. So this is like a chemical attraction to somebody. You would feel like that the kind of sex you're looking for would just destroy you. Maybe even like your twin flame is just like S&M, and you're the masochist, and you just stay there while they are the sadist and do things to you. But I don't think that's necessarily healthy for the Gemini rising to get into, because even though you want to express yourself, there's a part of you that might feel like you're allowing things to happen to you that you haven't fully given yourself comfortability over yet. And sometimes you want to be the one to destroy somebody. And so physically, I think like that's what you need to be into. And then maybe even sometimes you want to abstain from sex altogether, or just do whatever you want. Like you want to have the mystery of it. So when you get into a soulmate physical connection with somebody, they allow you to explore. You go into exploring each other's bodies in a very like not always so crazy way. And I don't think there's anything wrong with the S&M, to be honest. A lot of people are really into it. But for the Gemini ascendant, I just don't think that it's exactly what you need, because you need more freedom than that. And if you are, your moon is in Gemini, you're emotionally trying to get somebody, I think, to desecrate your emotions. Just like dive in and find out what's wrong with you. So you kind of hold them all together and you just wait for somebody to penetrate you and like punch your emotions in the face and figure out, about your hard life. And you're waiting for somebody to do that. And in reality, you need somebody who is more likely to just wait for you to open up to them so that you are in control of what you give. It's very important for the Gemini to be in control of what they give and to feel that and to be able to logically speak on themselves and not just feel like everything is taken from them, even if that is what seems natural because it's happened so many times in other lifetimes for you. So that is all about Gemini. Thank you guys for watching and have a lovely day. Hi guys, this is for all you Cancer suns, risings, or moon, or if you don't know, it's if your birthday falls between June 21st to July 22nd, around those birth dates. Okay, so if we're going to start with your twin flame first, going to your soulmate, and then we're going to focus more on what the rising and the moon would mean in these situations as well. So Cancer's twin flame is very similar to your soulmate. And this is sort of a unique thing towards you and not to everybody else, because of, and I'll explain it in a second. So basically, if your twin flame is someone you've just been dreaming of your whole life, you're just waiting to meet this person that checks every box of this basically materialistic businessman, like Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Grey. I don't know why that even came up, but like this idealized person. It could be a female too, obviously. You're looking for this person to come into your life and sweep you off your feet with their business acumen and their power and their power stance and their workaholic attitude, okay? And this way you can take care of the things around you. You can actually feel free in your own emotional nature, in your own need to nurture and to, to be happy and to have some good laughs in your life, to eat, drink, and be merry. You're looking for someone to take on all of the boring shit, okay? But your soulmate is somebody who is all of these things, but doesn't take him away from you. And that is your biggest difference here between these two things. And it's because the Cancer isn't meant to just stay in their little hidey hole in their crab shell. They are meant to come out and actually build up their own world based on the fact that they don't have power issues. Like, really important that when you're trying to figure out what the difference is, that you just really understand that like you are also meant to build. You're not meant to hide out. You're not supposed to keep yourself together inside of this twin flame relationship that's going to make your partner very successful while you are not, but you reap the rewards of their success because you also need to be out in the world. So that is basically what you're sort of looking for and what makes you feel like you come alive. If you can kind of decipher the difference between the two on your own so that you can feel it and actually live it out in your real life. Now, if your rising is in Cancer, then Capricorn is your descendant, and your descendant is ruled by Venus. It's your 7th house, and this is about your physical lovemaking. Venus is physical love. So you're actually very highly attracted to somebody who is powerful in the bedroom, and I think that that's important. You definitely want somebody who is powerful, that you want to serve and service, and you'll have that. But I think that there needs to be a give and take here, that sometimes this person will serve you. So if it's your twin flame in a physical sense, they might sort of constantly be telling you, you need to serve me in the bedroom, and where you kind of just want to do it on your own. And so you have to know between the toxic relationship of the twin flame that can happen and the soulmate connection that won't. Now, if your moon is there, it means that you're emotionally, like you're a Cancer moon, you're looking for someone who's very rigid with their emotions and who doesn't actually have them. So in your twin flame scenario, you're going to find yourself so attracted to a very repressed person, a repressed emotional individual. But in a soulmate situation, you're going to just want somebody who actually is very stable in their emotions and can help you with yours. who can help you feel stable as well and learn your own stability within your emotions and help you get through them. So anyway, Cancer, that is for you. And thank you very much. And I will talk to you later. Bye. So, hi, this is for Leos or anyone who was born between July 23rd to August 22nd, or if you have a Leo rising, ascendant, or a Leo moon. And if this is you, welcome to the party. Leo, your twin flame, this person that you've been dreaming about your whole life, probably is like the one that you've been looking for and trying to find, is going to be someone who actually really judges your lifestyle. And I know most Leos, you have a desire to be free. You are romantic. You're romantic, but you follow your heart, and your heart might want things that could make you look bad later on in life. And what will happen with this is that when your twin flame actually is somebody who isn't like that. They're more conservative in nature. They don't accept that you're following your heart, and they want to sort of reel you back in and put restrictions on you and make you more repressed. And so you'll find that this person you're with might actually seem like they just really accept you, and then they slowly start to control your life because they're trying to reel you into them, because what your twin flame is a cage, okay? It's a cage, and that's what you sort of want. Like, you're a lion, you're wild, and you're like, okay, somebody will cage me and then I'll be okay. And in reality, that takes everything away from you. What your soulmate situation would be, and it's not going to be something is attracted to. It's just not gonna. It's gonna feel comfortable, but you're gonna feel like, well, you're not caging me in. And this is somebody who has high ebbs and flows in life, who isn't always on top of their game, who sometimes falls into the gutter, who takes risks and doesn't always succeed. And why do you want this? Because this person is also following their heart. And that is how you can understand physically that you're with somebody. I mean, like in the real world, like with your brain, if you look at it like this, you're like, this person follows their heart. I follow my heart. They're going to be open to me always following my heart, which will allow me to create my own cage in situations that might actually be bad for me. And you don't need somebody to tell you if something's bad for you. Like, you don't need that. You need to be able to tell yourself, like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to stop this. My heart is sort of wants this, but I kind of need to reel myself in. And being with somebody who also follows their heart, you'll be able to be aware of it within them so that you can see it within yourself. And that's what it's going to breed a lot of power inside of you and help you really accomplish all of your dreams and your goals. So if you're rising as Leo, that means Aquarius is in your 7th house. And your 7th house is your physical connection to somebody else. It's like it's your lovemaking. And so you are attracted, probably in a twin flame sense, to somebody who judges your sexual lifestyle and who kind of wants you to be in a relationship with them just so they know you're monogamous. And when you have your soulmate, you might actually be with somebody who, like, physically would bring another person in. Maybe you kind of be into that. Something a little bit different, like kind of has a little bit more of a kink to themselves because they understand your kind of openness and that your heart wants what it wants in a physical sense. Now, if this is your moon, you have a Leo moon, you're looking for somebody who who's emotionally secure, but emotionally explorative. So somebody who really enjoys talking about their emotions and has very intriguing perspective on things and can have really, nice heart-to-hearts with you, but but that would be like your soulmate connection. But your twin flame connection with your emotions would be someone who gets really mad at you for feeling. And it's like, well, you felt, so that's why it was stupid. You should really rein back your dramatic feelings. They're really dumb. So I feel like in this way, the twin flame really does become toxic to the Leo, even though the Leo is most likely going to be looking for their twin flame out of everybody. because of the heart wanting it. So you've been looking for this for so long, and when you get it, you're just now a lion in a cage. So anyway, that is your Leo. Thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you later. Bye. So, hi, Virgo. If you're a Virgo sun, rising, or moon, and if you don't know your whether or not you are, if just your birthday is between August 23rd and September 22nd, this is for you. We're going to talk about your twin flame first, and then your soulmate, and then we will go into your rising and your moon in Virgo, if that's what you have. So, your twin flame is going to be somebody who has their shit together spiritually. Because you have your physical shit together, you're looking for somebody who has their spiritual shit together. That way, you don't really have to worry about your own spiritual shit. You can just be like, I'm doing my thing, I'm working really hard, and yada, yada, yada. This person does their spiritual stuff. So you're like, this is like really good for you. It's just your opposite half. And you've probably been dreaming about a person like this, like a very mystical, spiritual person who's very balanced spiritually, but not really, like kind of lives in the clouds almost, like lives outside of this earthly realm. And then you could just take care of this person, right? And that would make you happy, but it won't really, because the thing is that you will be stuck grinding your whole life while this person lives with their head in the clouds. And that is the problem with this twin flame energy and these things that you've sort of been looking for. Like you think that, oh, this will allow you to just explore your own spirituality by being with a very spiritual person, but then you find that you're highly attracted to people who don't have an equal footing with you in the physical world, and don't know how to keep a job, and don't know how to hold down their life the way that you do. And so you're connected to them, you want to help them, but you get into this like very big Superman savior complex, and nobody ends up saving you, and you become very unhappy in these sort of twin flame relationships. But your soulmate is somebody who is actually a little bit more on the crazy side. The crazy side because they enjoy living a physical life, and they want you to live a physical life, but they also enjoy bringing mystical things into reality, which is kind of crazy. So it's not like they just go off in their own little head and you get to be free to work all the time. It's more like they bring the crazy to you, and they want to know what you feel about it. They want to experience it with you. They want to bring you in it, but they're also willing to work their ass off and to have a good time and to eat, drink, and be merry and to really enjoy this life, which you should be really enjoying this life too. So it's important to find that person that gives you that connection to, to your real soul that just wants to live a physical life the best way possible, which is the balance and bringing in the spiritual to the earth, not just leaving it so that you are stuck with none of the magic, but all of the work. So if you are a Virgo rising, you have Pisces on your descendant. And because the seventh house is ruled by Venus, which is like spiritual, it's not spiritual, it's physical lovemaking. And that Pisces is very mystical and aloof and magical, but it is a very spiritual connection. And so in a twin flame sense, you might find yourself with somebody who they are physically taking over your body and intercepting your boundaries. Like for instance, your twin flame could be somebody who, and I'm going to kind of get gross here, but somebody who might it could be a man who actively, comes inside of you, and you're not on birth control or anything and doesn't tell you, and then maybe even tells you later, like, you need to take a plan B because I don't want a baby, like really messes with you in your boundaries like that. Now a soulmate type would not do that. They would not take advantage of your boundaries and your physical life. They would only want to add to them and allow themselves to be with you in that sense, in that kind of enlightening you through sex and your physical body, and maybe even not having as much sex with you so that they can get to know you. And so your relationship is based on a friendship first and not on this boundary violating sex. So if your moon is in Virgo, you're actually looking for somebody in a twin flame sense who is pretty emotionally out there, and that could be like crazy, like legit, like crazy person, maybe with a lot of mental health issues, like on that sense, or spiritually crazy on the other end. But if you're looking for a soulmate connection, you might actually be looking for somebody who just sort of feels things outside of the box, who is a spiritual person, but not so outside of their own realm of emotions. Because as you have a Virgo moon, you understand your emotions and the physical groundedness of reality. And when you're with somebody who is spiritually grounded, you can actually be a lot freer in your emotions than when you're with somebody who is emotionally everywhere, because then your entire life is trying to fix their emotions and you forget that you even have them. Okay, so thank you so much, Virgos, and I will talk to you later. Bye. Hi, Libras. So Libras, or people who don't know their sun sign, that would be anyone born between September 23rd and October 22nd, around those dates. Or if you have your Libra rising or Libra moon, this is for you. So we're going to do an overview first and then do the rising and the moon second. So your twin flame, the person that you've been dreaming about for your entire life, would be somebody who is everything. And I say everything, like you are the martyred lamb in your life, okay? And you've been dreaming of someone who basically romantically sweeps you off your feet. So you, even man or woman, you're the Cinderella waiting for the prince. Your life has not been that great, and so you've been sort of waiting, making yourself as good as possible for that person to walk into your life so you're ready for them. Like you're basically, your life is about the relationship that's going to sweep you off your feet. That is in all of the movies, the rom-coms, the dramas, history, whatever. And this is probably something that's repeatedly happened to you in your life. But the problem is that once this happens, you are then utterly controlled by this other person's everything. And you slowly become nothing more and more to them, because they feel like they don't need you, that you don't have anything to offer them except in the realm of being everything that they needed or wanted. And once they get you, they're like, well, I'm everything, you're nothing, because you're so willing to love me and fawn over me and serve me. So when you think about a soulmate relationship with a Libra, you want somebody who is a lot of things, but they're more like somebody who is going to shine their light on you. That's who you want to be in your life. You've already created everything. You've already done everything. You've made your life for you, not for them. You're not doing it for somebody else. You're doing it for you, and you know who you are deep down. And if you don't, you're with somebody who wants you to, who's willing to shine a light on your dark areas, because you are the opposite of, where the sun is exalted, which is in Aries. You are this Libra. You're dark, and you're trying to find this balance in the light, and it's really hard because you think that somebody has to come and give you all that. But in reality, what you're looking for is just somebody who wants to love you and love you for all that you are, and those parts of you that you haven't gotten out yet wants to be like, well, you're good at this too, right? You shouldn't be embarrassed of this. You should get this out. That is somebody who allows you to be everything yourself, because the Libra does have the ability to be everything and to get themselves out of their bad life situation, not saved by a prince or princess, king or queen in that area. Now, if your rising is in Libra, your physical twin flame is what you're looking for, and that would be on the opposite end of your rising, which is your descendant, and that would be in Aries. So you feel like your twin flame is somebody who, in a physical sense, maybe doesn't want to have sex with you. Maybe does their own thing, doesn't need you physically for any support whatsoever. And you could feel like, yeah, I'm okay with that. I don't need to have sex. I don't need to connect to somebody in that way. I'm fine. I'm learning how to be okay with myself. They don't need me to serve them in that sense. But what you're doing is you're losing your ability to connect to somebody and to give them love, which is what you want to do in the way that you know how, because Venus is physical lovemaking. That's what Libra is. they show their love through physical touch and physical everything. All the five senses are given to the Libra to show to somebody else. So your soulmate situation physically would be somebody who wants you to do that for them. Somebody who may not be always wanting sex, but who definitely wants, or your physical touch, but definitely wants to receive it from you in a way and show you like that they do care about you too, and that would reciprocate it, even if they're not always up to it. And that would teach you sort of balance and self-control in those areas, and not make you feel like you can't be, or make you feel like you have to be, but that you could balance yourself out and you could spend a lot of time by yourself, but also with them, and it would be equal. Now, if this is your moon, it's as emotionally. You're looking for somebody who emotionally takes care of themselves. In a twin flame scenario, they don't need you or want you at all, but that they can maybe calm your emotions down by making you forget that they exist, because you're on such like a whirlwind of emotional chaos with them. You don't even think about all of your emotional problems anymore. You've just left them and detached from them forever, which makes you feel good because they're not pretty to look at and you don't like them anyway. But in a soulmate situation, you would be able to find somebody who definitely shines a light on these dark places and these emotions with you, and treats your emotions with kindness, and actually wants to know about them and wants to tell you about theirs. And so you can emotionally connect to each other, even if it takes some time and some growth, so that you can actually make your emotions very beautiful and make your hurts and your fears come alive and grow something beautiful in their place. And you can really have that Libra moon experience, which is about creating beauty from the deepest parts of you. Hi, Scorpio. This is for you if you were born a Scorpio, or if your birthday is between the dates of, October 23rd to November 21st, or if you have a Scorpio ascendant or a Scorpio moon. So in this case, this is actually an interesting one, because your twin flame is very similar to your actual soulmate. There's only like a tiny difference, and it's very important that you can sense the difference, or you might get yourself stuck looking for your twin flame, not even recognizing the toxicity that is consistently coming to you in every different relationship, which is, I guess, the Scorpio's biggest issue. So basically, as a Scorpio, you've probably been dreaming your whole life of this perfect, beautiful physical specimen that you can be close to. Now, this person would be into the arts, would be musical, very, when I say physically connected, I mean like all of the five senses are just attached to this person. And what that means is that they also really like to partake in the beauty of the world, because they like to see things and to taste them and to create and smell and touch and all of those things and bring them to you on a silver platter. But what this does to you is it makes you feel like you are, for one, not creative in the least bit, that you don't have these desires, that you're not who this is. Like, you have to serve this person, and while they create, while they do all these beautiful things, and while they're beautiful, you're just sort of on the back burner, serving them, servicing them, loving them, taking care of them, being their hero so that they can go do their thing. But like, really, you have to think about this. What about you? And so what you're actually looking for is someone who is doing all those things that you desire to actually serve them, but that they also make you feel like you can do them too. Like, they're consistently wondering about you and your own life, and like what you're doing for them, and what you're doing for yourself. They want you to do it for yourself too. In fact, they feel a little bit irritated when you're not also creating. So they don't take your creation away. They don't say, or they don't not create themselves, and they share creative responsibility with you. They want you to be happy. They want to be happy. And this is an important balance that the Scorpios got to learn over time. If you find that, you've pretty much found your soulmate, somebody who really cares about you and what you're doing, but doesn't take everything away from you, because that would be boring too. And I think that sometimes Scorpios fall for that, like, oh, my twin flame situation is not working out, so I'm just going to give up on a creative person altogether, and I'm going to be with somebody who just kind of grinds and taps out of the beautiful parts of our reality on Earth. And that can be like your really big downfall in the end. You're either going for these people who are amazing but kind of treat you like a dumpster, or they treat you like you're great but they're not anything. And you need somebody who is good with you, and that's what you're looking for in your soulmate situation. Now, if you have your rising in Scorpio, it means your 7th house, which is the naturally Venus-ruled house, which will tell you about your actual physical lovemaking, this dark side that can come alive. You are looking for somebody in your soulmate, or actually in your twin flame situation, who loves when you serve them. But this is what we're going to get into, like a situation of, I keep saying situation, but basically where you're having sex with them and they're not enjoying it unless they get off. Okay, this is like what we're getting into here. Like basically they take the fun out of the adventure of sex from you by just being like, well, I'm gonna come and then you can come and we're gonna be good. Or like, that's like if it's a female, because females do shit like that when they're not like fully immersed in body, mind, and soul, like in sex, but they're just using it to get off. And that's where I feel like in general, that's a metaphor for what this thing is that you're finding yourself in physical relationships with people who are just using you to get off. They're not caring about you. They don't have any balance with you. They're not in love with you and what you can bring to their, their connection to you. They're just into themselves. Almost like a vanity. I mean, it is vanity, I guess. And if you're still watching from before, if your sun isn't here, I guess I missed that. Like, it's the negative part of this. Your twin flame is a very vain, narcissistic type person, but your soulmate has all of these qualities, but they're giving with it. And I think that's very important to say. So then in your moon situation, this would be somebody who is emotionally stable. You're looking for that in a soulmate situation. You want someone who's very emotionally stable, who can calm your chaotic seas. But in a twin flame situation, you're almost looking for somebody who is so stable so you don't have to be. Like, you almost see them as their own person, they're boxed in, they're not going to share their emotions with you. Therefore, you're the emotionally crazy one, and that's okay. And so you keep going back to these people who treat you like your emotions are garbage. And that's not a good situation, but it's definitely a very common emotional twin flame situation for you Scorpio moons. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye. Hi Sagittarius, this is for you if you were born between November 22nd to December 21st, or if you are cusp of that and you do know you are Sagittarius, or if you have your rising in Sagittarius or your moon in Sagittarius, which we'll talk about right after the main focus of it to tell you like where you're pulling in those areas. But if you are a Sagittarius sun, or less in turn to the rising and the moon, you are looking for your twin flame, and you've probably been attracted to people like your twin flame your whole life. You've had dreams about this person coming into your life, and they would be somebody who actually overpowers you mentally. You see, you're very free. You are an uncaged mind, but in that sense, what happens with freedom and, an over amount of optimism that the Sagittarius has, because it's like this ability that you can do anything and you can be anywhere and you can go and be free. You're looking for somebody who wants to power over you, and I wouldn't say like cage your mind, bring your mind down to what only makes sense in logical reality. And what this does to you is actually kills your ability to have that free thinking lifestyle that accepts everybody and loves everyone. And you're looking for someone who just kind of unnaturally says, no, stop that. Stop it. Because they don't. Because your twin flame is very encapsulated and encaged in their own self-awareness, and they don't care about the awareness of other people. And so in that sense, because they're so much different than you, they think that that's correct, and they don't like the way that you are free, and so they will naturally want to stop that from happening, to pull that out of you. And so you have to be wary of that, because what you're actually looking for in your soulmate that would make your twin flame magically disappear from your life forever is somebody who would be able to put rules and structure on your free thinking. So wouldn't allow you to just say, hey, 1 + 1 = 5 because I think so, but would say, no, there are rules, and to say that 1 + 1 = 4, here are the rules. And that's a metaphor for deeper things. Like you can say that, well, obviously these things can coexist. And you're like, well, technically they can't coexist, but I can see why it would be cool if they could. Maybe if this one little notch was taken out of this and this little thing was taken out of this, they could actually coexist. So how hard are you holding on to these two ideas and these two separate concepts? That's what you need. Somebody who just knows the rules and can help you, because then all of a sudden you're still free, but you're free within the confines of reality. You're not completely taken out of your ability to see the spiritual truth in the world and to be free. You're actually able to live your life the way that it's meant to, but inside of our physical realm. And so if you are a rising, Sagittarius rising, Gemini falls into your 7th house, which is your physical connection to love. So it is your love-making house, that person you want to be within a physical level because they sort of understand your dark side. And what they would want to do to you is kind of put barriers on your sex life. So you can't be explorative, you couldn't think out of the box when it comes to being physical with them, and they would want to make the rules on you. And so you might find yourself, you're in a twin flame situation, and your twin flame is just being like, nope, I don't want you to be free. That's bad. Like, you're a bad person. You should feel really guilty about this. You should feel ashamed of these things that you would like to naturally explore. We're not going to do that. I'm not going to let you do that, because not just that it's like against me. They're going to be like, it's against God, and they're going to make you feel bad about your ability to be free in these situations. And if this is your moon sign, it's going to be an emotional control, that you have the Sagittarius moon and you really want to go out into the world, and that's how you travel, you're free, and that's how you experience your emotions. You experience them through being out in the world and seeing, like, just touching things and understanding things like that. And where this person is like, well, no, you need to deal with them on a logical basis. If you can't sit here and talk about your emotions, then you're not natural. And I think that's what these placements, the sun, moon, and rising with the Sagittarius twin flame, your twin flame is really going to be trying to take you out by telling you how evil and bad you are. And that, I think, is a big problem, and what you need to be weary of in that twin flame situation that you might get yourself into. And thank you. That is all I have for Sagittarius, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Okay, Capricorn. So if you are a Capricorn, or if you don't know your sign, and that would mean that you were born between December 22nd and January 19th, or if you have a Capricorn ascendant or Capricorn moon, this is for you. Basically, you would be dreaming about your twin flame, and for your whole life, it would be something that came up a lot in your understanding of the person you're looking for, your other half. And that would be somebody who basically doesn't have any right or wrong values, doesn't have any understanding of the truth of your world, but that you could sort of tame like a wild animal, bring them to justice, and maybe rip out their heart and kill them. And this means that you, as the other twin flame, you're looking for something to dominate. You're trying to find this person in your life that you can kill, like it was an animal, like a wild animal that you can slice off its head and eat it for breakfast. And so you have to be really wary of this, because your power as a Capricorn would seem to be like, some people take advantage of you because they do, and you grow up that way. But so you're learning that, like, well, when I'm going to go out into the world and find my own way, I'm going to attack it like a gazelle. Like, I am lion and I'm attacking the gazelle. And what that does is it puts your twin flame in sort of harm's way with you. And on the flip side, you get taken advantage back because the person that your twin flame maybe doesn't care if their head's cut off, as long as they can control you from the inside by yelling at you, by screaming at you, by telling you that you're always at work and you never pay attention to them, yada yada yada. Basically, I'm so alone and you're working your ass off, but I don't see you, but I like your money, but I don't see you. Like that kind of stuff. You get into a situation where everything should be working perfectly because you're with a submissive, but that submissive is screeching at you. And if you're a man or a woman, you find yourself in these sort of situations, or they want to, equally cut off your head because they're resentful. So they're emotionally like submissive to you, and then they yell and try to make it so that you can't go out, you can't enjoy your own life because you're leaving them at home and they're super bored and lonely, and it's bad. It gets into a very volatile situation. So what you're actually wanting in life, your soulmate, is somebody who allows you to build your life up, who allows you to be the strong, independent, career-minded person, individual that you are. And so they, kind of take place at home. They want to be at home, but that they also are very creative. They're also building themselves up from the inside while you build up yourself from the outside. And so you're not wanting to cut off their head. You actually love everything that they do. And because you love everything that they do, they build things up and they actually allow you to see that it's fun spending time at home. Like you don't have to be yanked down to this life that you don't really want. You're actually like, wow, you make life fun. And that's the person that you should be with, somebody who makes your life fun and enjoyable, and you give them power in return. So if this is your rising sign, you're looking twin flame wise probably for somebody who is submissive to you sexually and who you can kind of, take advantage of in that way. But what you would really want, and even in marriage and like just being next to them and you making the rules, but what you'd actually want is for somebody who is much more explorative and creative, and their own body would sort of wow you. Like you're into that. You don't want somebody who's nothing to you. You want somebody who somehow has their own power underneath you that you can't help but stare at and look at and just love in that way. Now, if your moon sign is Capricorn, then you might find yourself in emotionally chaotic situations where you're with somebody who you have to treat super, like you have to wear kids' gloves with, because if you say anything offhand, they're going to cry or they're going to get mad or they're going to want to hurt you in some way, like because they can't match your power and dominance and your emotions, so they start acting out in a physical, probably violent or overly emotionally abusive way. So what you're looking for in a soulmate situation is an emotional connection where they help you release little bits of your emotion at one time in the way that you know how, and not in a way of like you now have to be the stable entity because they are the batshit crazy one. And that is your biggest, I think, barrier to overcome in this situation. So anyway, Capricorn, that's for you. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you later. Hi, so this is for you Aquariuses, and basically that means that you were born between January 20th and February 18th-ish, or if you have an Aquarius moon or rising sign. I will talk about those afterwards, and I'll do this first. So, it all kind of pertains, but I'll tell you about how it pertains more to you if you have a rising or moon after. Anyway, the Aquarius person is naturally attracted to and has been probably dreaming a lot about this twin flame who is like a bona fide star. You want somebody, and you're thinking about this person who just has the limelight on them at all times. Like they just have the appeal, the light, the charm, the sex appeal, everything that they have is amazing. This person will feel like they complete you because you can, work your ass off. You have your own thing going, maybe quirky, person next door, like whatever, but everybody else doesn't see you as the light that shines, basically. So you're looking for that person that is shines so brightly that they're going to come to you and they're going to, you know, include you in their big ball of light. But the problem with your twin flame is that because they are already shining so light, they really use you to be the stability of the relationship, and you lose a lot of your own self and your own appeal to them. Like, you are only as good if you were a part of them, which for the Aquarius is really bad because you're special in your own right. But it's very hard to remember that when you're building so much into the specialness of the person that you're with. And so that person is going to feel like an empty black hole of negativity in your life, even though they have everything that you dreamed of up front and that should have been perfect. But see, your soulmate is somebody who has the light, but they're more like somebody who lives in this physical reality of themselves as king or queen. Like, they have authority, they have charm, they have charisma, they have all the things that you want, but they actually take care of themselves so you don't have to. Now, this would seem that they have it all together, which is something that Aquarius needs for your soulmate. You need somebody who has it all together. You can't be spending time taking care of them because you're an altruistic type person. You have to take care of the world, not a little baby that this twin flame happens to be, because they're just so full of light and they don't have any grounding. So basically, you want them to have their own authority over their own life. You want them to be young and interested in the world, but you also need them to be stable. And that would make it so that you can actually shine your light as a part of like a power couple with them. You do the things for good and they do the things for them, but that's okay because you both then learn from each other, and that this person you're with can start doing things for the world and you can start doing things for yourself, which makes it so much better for you. And this might actually sound like what you're doing is taking your twin flame and you're balancing them out with you, but it doesn't actually work like that, because your twin flame, for them to be so powerfully light, they will never be able to come down to earth for you. And you will spend your whole life trying to pull them down, but you'll just get caught up in them. And I know that sounds crazy, but I just am very not into people getting involved in toxic relationships because it's their twin flame. If you can realize that you have the star inside of you, you don't need them, then why on earth would you keep chasing after them? You would leave them forever and ever, and you would be everything within your own right. And that is what the Aquarius really needs, especially you guys. I don't think I got this dramatic about other ones, but you guys, I'm very dramatic about. You especially need to do that because you're helping in like the age of Aquarius. Like, you are very important and you need to shine light on yourself. You can't be giving from an empty cup. And if you are with your twin flame, you absolutely will be, because your twin flame needs that from you. So if this is your rising sign, this is on a physical level. This means that you are an Aquarius ascendant and you have Leo on your descendant. And in a physical way, you, which can be sexually, but in a connected relationship, you're becoming a part of their romance, meaning you might get love bombed. People throw love your way and you're just like, yes. And so your twin flame, you expect that they're going to be this big romantic gestures and everything, but then in the end, it falls flat. They might light candles for your relationship and for your sex scenes in your romantic movie that you've always dreamed of. But then after a while, they stop having sex with you altogether because they just don't give a fuck about you anymore. And so that's a big problem for you in this rising sign and having an Aquarius ascendant. Now, on the moon side, if you have an Aquarius moon, emotionally, you have been taught to give to somebody, to sort of not really take care of your emotions unless you do it in very different ways, which can mean that you end up giving yourself to people emotionally, a bunch of different people, to heal them, because you're kind of a healer, and or you are a healer. And when you end up with your twin flame, they emotionally just take and take to create this drama in their life, and then they sort of turn it around on you, and that becomes a big problem when you're giving your whole life to them. Basically, Aquarius, any placement, please learn the light on yourself. Don't think that you're living this great life because you're giving to everybody. You have to worry the most about I mean, you don't want to worry, but you got to give the most to yourself. Like, you have to allow that your partner and who you're with is allowing you to explore yourself and not have to just spend so much time exploring their past and their abuse and their relationships. Who cares? Like, to be honest, like with this, who cares? Like, what is going on with you? You're not stronger than the world and can't take on that. You need to take on yourself. And your twin flame is surefire way to that up for you. Thank you. Sorry. Okay. So, hey, this is for you Pisces. If you are a Pisces sun, which means basically that you were born between February 19th and March 20th, or if you are a Pisces moon or Pisces rising, this is for you. Pisces rising and Pisces moon will be after this whole set of standards that I put out here to you. But first, we're going to get into the main brunt of it all. So, your twin flame as a Pisces is somebody who seems to be very wise and intellectually connected to their surroundings. And this is somebody who kind of has like their hands in all of the pots, right? Like on earth. It doesn't mean that they're the most popular person in the world. You're not necessarily attracted to that. You're not attracted to the person with all of the money, but you're attracted to somebody with like potential, right? Like somebody who is kind of very interesting and has that spider-like prowess. I don't know, I'm getting like a spider in my head for you guys because you're just they kind of grind too. They don't really care about what everybody else is doing. They're just invested in the earth and in themselves and doing a lot of different little things. Like they just do that stuff. And in that way, they kind of illuminate your path for you. And that's what you feel like. So you've had these dreams of this person for a long time, this person that can ground you, that can give you the roads to walk on, because, and like even a light for your path, because as a Pisces, you're kind of out there sometimes, right? I mean, and you might do your thing. You go full blown into what you're doing, but you never really know if it's correct, if you're following the right path. And so you really want somebody who's like, this is the right path for you, do this, do this. And if that person is like, okay, I'll let me work for you and you do nothing. Like you might feel like that's what you're looking for. That's what you need to survive. But in reality, that is the twin flame situation. And the reason why this sucks for you is because you are then allowed to be blind. You're allowed to not know where you're going, what you're doing, who you are, etc. You are allowed to be handicapped because you're looking for this person who takes care of you by showing you what you should do next. Negatively or positively, it doesn't really matter. Your twin flame, based on your other placements, will have these characteristics and they will kind of give them to you, negative or positive. They could be somebody who just lights your path because they're constantly yelling at you not to do the thing, or because they walk and you follow them, even if it's to your grave. You're just like, okay, cool, thank you. And you go down that road so that you can stay blinded, so you can stay not healthy on earth, basically. But what you really want, and like what a soulmate situation would look like, is somebody who is planted in the earth, right? Like firmly feet planted, but also has their eyes on the sky. And this means it's somebody who is calm, collected, has faith that things will be okay, but works their ass off and still has their connections to things. And this kind of sounds a little bit like a unicorn. And I'm going to tell you that the Pisces needs a unicorn. And I don't want you to give up on that mission to find your little unicorn, your big unicorn, whatever, your own special unicorn in the earth, because otherwise you're going to be stupid. You're looking for someone who allows you to be stupid. And I just want to like put that out to you. Like you have to understand that the person that you're going to be with is going to be like, hey, you know what? I do my own thing and I still am capable of, having faith and being mystical. But you think that you can only be mystical and you can't do your own thing. And that is not okay with me. That's not what I want you to do. That's not how we're going to find balance in our lives, because all of a sudden I'm going to have to work my ass off for you to be mystical. And that's not fair. that person will help you move forward, will help you be better. And it shouldn't be, obviously, you shouldn't get into a place where becomes toxic and that, because that wouldn't be your soulmate. But I will say that your twin flame in this situation is definitely going to be toxic. He's going to be like, oh, yeah, I don't even need to worry about you. Go do your own thing. And you're going to have no direction, nothing. You're just going to be a freewheeling Pisces disaster. And you need to be rooted. You have to find somebody who roots you. And that person who roots you allows you to actually say true statements. I don't know if you notice about yourself that maybe you're like, I say these things, I believe these things, they come out of my mouth, but they're not actually anchored in anything, or I can't explain them. Your soulmate will help you explain them, will bring you to earth so that you then are connected to the earth. And they don't complete you in that way. They basically just say, here, this is a good place. We'll plant you right here. Now you're growing on earth. Yay. Okay, now you can be full person. You can be everything you want to be. And that is a beautiful experience for any Pisces. So now if you're a Pisces rising, your physical connection to somebody, your seventh house, which is basically what you love physically about somebody. It's your dark side, and this is what they take out of you. You want somebody in a sexual way and in a romantic partner on this level to tell you what to do. You're waiting for them. That would mean that you're waiting for your body to respond to their touch. You're waiting for them to come up to you, to love you, to kiss you, to be with you. And you're waiting for them to say, here, no, we're going to do this together. And that's not actually what you want, because that person takes away your gift of leadership. And as a Pisces ascendant, you do have a strong gift of leadership. You don't feel like you do because you don't know who you are. But opening yourself up to a physical soulmate, somebody who is like, well, I'll root you in me, like we can be rooted together, but I don't want to have to lead you. I want you to be free to learn about your own qualities of leadership. You've built this creative passion in your life. Now make it a reality. You don't need me to tell you how to do that. It's in you. And that's what makes you a better person. And now for the Pisces moons, this is you're emotionally aloof. You're emotionally out there. You become other people so easily, and you take on their emotions, and you don't need to do that. You're probably looking for an emotional anchor that will make it so you'll never cry again, that your tears are going to be wiped away forever. And when that happens, as a Pisces moon, you're never going to stop looking. You're always going to be dragged into an emotional chaos with whoever you're with, because you're looking for that twin flame who drags you into emotional chaos, because you're giving them your emotions. You're like, here you go, please get rid of these for me. And your twin flame situation, emotional twin flame situation, is not going to want that, because they're going to feel like they're stable and humble and don't have anything to do with those things. So it's going to make you feel like you're just having out of body experiences with your twin flame. Now, you could shut off your life completely and not even go for a soulmate situation that also helps you emotionally, which a lot of people, Pisces moons, do, I think, because you get so in turmoil that you're just like, well, I'm just going to find some stable person who doesn't listen to me when I talk, but at least he's stable, or at least she's stable, and I can just be chaotic. But that's not good either. Like, you need to be able to find your own emotional rootedness, your own hold over your emotions. Yes, your emotions are spectacular, but if you look at them mystically, you have a mystical emotions are magical, and if you ground them in earth, you bring magic to earth, and your soulmate will understand that and will say, I want you to deal with your emotions on your own, because I want you to know you have power over them. Nobody else does. I think the Pisces moon, the only thing you need to learn is how to be yourself, how to be in full control of who you are. And so for every Pisces in this place, like you have control over yourself. Yes, you feel out of body, but if you can root yourself, and if you can find yourself a person who allows you to root yourself, you can hitch your wagon to people, but you can't give them half your life. You can't. And you have to learn about your special, powerful qualities before you allow them to be given to somebody who doesn't deserve them. Anyway, that is everything for you today. Thank you so much, Pisces, and thank you to everybody else if you watched the whole thing and you just listened to me talk. I will talk to you guys later. Okay, bye.